head to the ballot during these primaries. But news just in is that the Orange Party, which was also expected to carry out primaries in Nairobi County in what was set to be a breaking event, has now called off the primaries in Nairobi County. That is news just in. The Orange Democratic Movement has called off the primaries in Nairobi County. And the communication now from the Director of Communications from ODM now says that due to unavoidable circumstances, the party had to call off the primaries and a new date will be announced later. Well, let's now speak on phone with Philip Etale, who is the Director of Communications. He joins us from Orange House here in Nairobi. Etale, what could be the reason for this cancellation?
Well, Michelle, thank you. The reason for the cancellation is there are some youths who stormed the warehouse where the electoral materials had been stored in readiness for distribution to various polling stations within the county of Nairobi. And they came in their hundreds and they were shouting. They were saying that the process would not be free and fair. So they blocked all the vehicles that were leaving the warehouse with the materials and demanded that the exercise should be called off until such a day that everyone will be brought on board, all aspirants to be briefed on the exercise. But as the National Elections Board chair says, this is very unfortunate because the NEB had put in place everything to ensure that the exercise takes off and ends in peace. But due to what the youths did, it's very, very unfortunate that the board had to call off this exercise in a half.
All right, and Etale, of course, so the youth say that they were afraid that the process would not be free and fair. Do they have a reason for this? And what does the party plan to do now to assure the aspirants and their supporters that this really will be a free and fair process?
We've had this exercise in other counties and we've not encountered such a thing. And it's unfortunate that it's only Nairobi that people can just decide to go to the warehouse where materials are with the intent of trying to disrupt the exercise. So what the party, the National Elections Board is going to meet today and announce a new date. But we appeal to aspirants and members of the party who are taking part in this exercise to exercise humility and behave in a manner that is democratic, because everyone whoever will be found culpable for this, actually the National Elections Board will not hesitate to take action. But we are appealing for calm as we prepare for a new date, which will be announced later in the day. But at around 10 this morning, we are going to have a press briefing to give details of this situation by the Secretary General of the party, Dr. Agnes Zani, who will be addressing the media from Orange House. And so all these matters will be raised and addressed at the same time.
All right, and so we're looking at a later date which will be announced by the ODM National Elections Board. When do we expect this to be?
Probably, tomorrow will be too soon, but I believe it should be towards the end of the week, perhaps Friday or Saturday. But that is the NEB to decide. So once they give me the date, I'll be able to announce to the public. But it's our wish that we finish this exercise as we had planned, so that we can embark on other activities as we head towards the general election. So anything that would want to derail the exercise will be unacceptable.
Many thanks. That is Philip Etale, who is the Director of Communications for the Orange Democratic Party, which has just cancelled the primaries in Nairobi County due to unavoidable circumstances. Philip Etale there telling us that youth stormed the warehouse yesterday where the election material had been stored, complaining that they were afraid the process would not be free and fair. So that is breaking news just in. The Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, has called off its party primary primaries in Nairobi County due to unavoidable circumstances. A group of rowdy youth are said to have yesterday stormed the warehouse where election material had been stored, complaining that the process would not be free and fair. Philip Etale, Director of Communications from ODM, tells us that they will be announcing a later date in the course of the day. But let's get reactions from the ground now that supporters were ready to go and cast their ballot for the particular candidates. We have Timothy Otieno and Akisa Wandera on the ground in Nairobi County. Timothy, let's begin with you, joining us from Kibra constituency. What is the reaction on the ground?
Well, thanks, Michelle. I'm actually at Uhuru Gardens Primary School in Langata constituency. The situation is pretty much the same. The people have been here since very early in the morning. No ballot materials, no ballot boxes, no ODM party officials have been at this particular polling station. So the people have just actually really been waiting. And I'm sure it will come as much of a surprise and disappointment that the elections will then have to be postponed. Let's just walk over and see if we can get a few of the reactions of those who had come here to vote. Thank you so much for speaking to KTN News. Maybe the ODM party has announced that Nairobi nominations have been postponed and a later date will be announced later on. Your reactions to this communication coming from the party?
Kwanza wametudisappoint sana hapa kama vijana vile tulikuwa tumejiprepare na vile wenzetu wamepiga rally, vile tumetembea kwa mtaa, sisi tulikuwa ready kupiga kura. So wametudisappoint sana. Sijui kama wana way au na Jubilee, sijajua nini inaendelea Nairobi. Watuelezea Raila Amolo Odinga what is not happening to this Nairobi. Because sisi kama Wakenya tulikuwa repair, si ndio? Yeah. Kila mtu alikuwa amefanya nini yake, rally